No. Pace, don't do it. No. Don't do it. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. 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 Don't even think of no. Don't even think about no.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So no, don't do it. Don't do it. No, seriously, don't throw your entire life savings into crypto. We still got to pay the rent over here. But man, I gotta tell you, I woke up this morning and I can't tell you why, no particular reason, but I just felt so confident about this space. I mean, it's been so many months of just negativity and downward price action, and just recently with these altcoins kind of like popping off here and there, and all this good news coming out, and realizing how close we are to the absolute bottom, I just gotta tell you, I am just full of enthusiasm today, and I hope that you guys are sharing that same feeling as well. Now, aside from how I'm feeling today, I hope you're doing quite well. I do have to mention something which I hate bringing up, but I have to talk about this. So guys, once again, as you can see, we had a scammer on my video yesterday. You know, down here, he says, shoot me a mail directly at cryptozombitrade@gmail.com. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, guys, I will never, ever ask you for any kind of money or tell you to shoot me an email that isn't in my official About Me section. And also, if you ever have any questions about if this is me or not, all you got to do is just tap on the icon logo, and if it doesn't take you back to my page, you know it's a scammer. So, he ended up actually responding, and then he said, I have an offer for you. Would you like to invest in Bitcoin mining? I have the new update S9 Antminer software. No, I don't. I'm not a Bitcoin miner. This Antminer S9 hardware is specifically designed to mine Bitcoins, blah, blah, blah. He says you're going to get 0.041 Bitcoin per hour. Yeah. Not me, guys. Anytime you ever have any questions, you know where to find me. Official Telegram. You can hit me up in the official email in my About Me section. So please don't fall for this. I try my best, but this stuff happens while I'm sleeping overnight or something like that. And then next thing you know, I wake up and I got like 5 or 6 emails of angry people, like, what's up with this scammer? So please be safe. Hate starting the video off like that, but I just want you to be safe and let you guys know what is going on. Well, I'll tell you what's going on. We're seeing a lot of green today. It is a nice day in the markets. Let's give it a quick refresh live. And we are at a $131 billion market cap. Bitcoin is up almost 3% for the day. Bitcoin dominance falling back. Altcoins feeling love. As you can see right here, biggest gainers on the front. We have Nexo, Aurora, Binance Coin. Oh my goodness, is now in 8th place. Engine Coin, Litecoin, Huobi, EOS. This ABBC coin again, and Ontology. And man, if you look at Binance's chart, what an incredible run-up they have had as far as, look, I mean, this is insane. If you take away the dollar comparative, it's at an all-time high. I mean, this is insane. I had actually bought into Binance a little bit, right when it had first came out. I bought in around like $3 and I sold at $10, and I thought I was a freaking genius. I guess maybe dollar-wise I was, but definitely not Bitcoin, because as you can see right here, had you held, you would have accumulated a massive amount of Bitcoin. So speaking of Bitcoin, how's our good old buddy Bitcoin doing? Well, it looks like we kind of sort of have created this new support, kind of very weakly, right here around $3,687. Obviously, we're also looking at these key levels of 36, 39 as support, and we've been consistently bouncing around in this channel between that and 4,142. So, if I kind of zoom out a little bit here, you could see it's pretty much just been in here for a while. We fell down a little bit and came right back up. So I do have my eyes on a few of these key levels, although personally, I don't think we're going to go any lower than 3,100. If we do, I personally will be very, very surprised, okay? Unless there's just some like super quick ultimate like flash crash right before the year leading up to the halvening, just so these guys can scoop up that last cheap Bitcoin. But I'll tell you what, if it does, I don't see it staying there very long at all. So that's just basically my opinion. But if you want to talk about what is going on, if you look over here, they're saying that there is a pretty interesting indicator that could be signaling a very intense bull signal. signal. Now, this is the moving average convergence, divergence, you know it as the MACD, has become the latest charting indicator to signal that Bitcoin may soon see a trend reversal that could put an end to its month-long price decline. So also, they were talking about yesterday, the money flow index, which is an indicator used to identify buy and sell pressure, created a divergence on Sunday, widely considered to be an early sign of a bearish to bullish trend, while last week Bitcoin saw a bearish crossover of its 50 and 100 week moving averages. Why is this important? Well, because we have not seen this since 2015. So the price trend is considered to have turned bullish when the MACD line crosses above the signal line, the 9-period exponential moving average of the MACD line, at which points the histogram rises above the zero line. The higher the histogram, the farther apart the MACD and the signal line are, indicating stronger momentum. As can be seen in this chart, both bullish indicators have indeed taken place. So it's worth noting, however, that the MACD did make a bullish cross accompanied by a positive histogram value in September of last year before it fell to 3,000, but the lack of separation between the MACD and signal line was evident, but this time around, the follow through after the crossover is much more substantial. So obviously this is not me telling you this, these are, the pros, but it could be seen in Bitcoin's weekly price chart from 2015 that the strong bullish MACD crossover accompanied by rising positive histogram values indeed confirmed the cryptocurrency's price bottom had been set. What's more, bullish divergence within the histogram was evident before the positive cross of the MACD and signal line, similar to how in Bitcoin's current situation, we have the MACD readings. So this is way over my head. You guys know I don't go this deep in technicals, but this seems to be super positive sentiment coming out. Actually, not even sentiment, it's just technicals, right? And the other thing that I want to talk about is if you want to stop looking at the charts, you want to stop, talking about the hopium and to the moon. I mean, realistically speaking, the data itself does not lie. You have crypto futures provider Crypto Facilities says they've seen tremendous growth since being acquired by Kraken, right? So in total, nearly 1 billion in crypto futures has been traded over the past month across all 5 of their products, which include XRP, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and ethereum, obviously. Yeah, so basically, in terms of trading volume, Crypto Facilities compared the 5-day period before February 4th, when the Kraken acquisition was announced, to the 5-day period after, finding that the volume of trade on its platform jumped, and get this, 565%, okay? And if that's not enough for you to get excited about, why don't we just talk about the overall transaction volume that has increased by about 34% since the beginning of just this year alone. Significantly, there's been more than 350,000 transactions on average. And you can see over here, if we look at Moon Overlord, he says number of transactions per block for Bitcoin now nearing the high reached in December of 2017. Bitcoin usage near all-time high. When is the price going to catch up? And as you can see right here, zooming in, we're almost there. We're almost there again. So I don't really know what else to tell you, but that is pretty incredible news. So let's talk about what's going on. Well, interestingly, many analysts have argued that there's no meaningful correction between daily Bitcoin transactions and the cryptocurrency's price. Bummer, but let's keep reading on. This could be partially due to factors such as crypto traders being able to easily short Bitcoin, right? We talked about this, and having access to crypto derivative products. So obviously, was it a total coincidence that December 17th, we see the all-time high of Bitcoin and conveniently the futures come out? Well, how much more are you going to short this damn thing? We're already down over 80%, right? We might be maybe up a little more. I haven't checked recently, but long story short, Bitcoin transaction volume has increased. We know that. Some people are speculating it's due to the Lightning Network. I don't think the Lightning Network's big enough, to be honest with you, currently. Even though it has grown significantly, it's still not really big enough yet, but we'll take that as a potential reason. But also, you have an increase in Bitcoin transaction volume that has been a 700% increase in the adoption rate in just the past 6 years alone. Also, Moscow-based cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Labs recently shared the results of one of its surveys, which revealed that around 10% of shoppers worldwide had used Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency to pay for goods and services bought online. Now, I could tell you, for a fact that this chart is definitely telling me something, but you know what else is telling me something? Things like this. I am getting tagged left and right on Twitter, and getting sent email messages and all these different things about all this crazy adoption. Here you go, more proof in San Diego on the corner of Governor and Genesee. Bitcoin, the virus is spreading, and as you can see right here, if we zoom in, it says now accepting Bitcoin, 40 cents off a gallon of gas if you use Bitcoin, and of course another 20 cents if you're getting a car wash. But you cannot deny things like this. And I even got a shout out to my buddy Crypto Stache. So they were basically walking around in California, right? They were just trying to basically see who would take their crypto, right? So they ended up actually being quite successful. They ended up going to get their haircuts at a barber shop, a few other things. And even this one right here, for example, I'll just play like one quick example of a guy that they were like shocked that would even accept it. But my point is that you could see that people are getting on the bandwagon. They're seeing the value in it. So just check this out for like 5 seconds.
I don't even know what crypto is. I know, right? So we're down here at a coffee shop in Venice. Do you accept Bitcoin?
Yes, I do.
You do accept Bitcoin? Sweet! All right.
You're so happy right now?
Yeah, I'm so happy right now. So,
what other cryptocurrencies do you have?
I don't know. What do you want to take?
Litecoin?
You want to take Litecoin? Bitcoin?
Hey, man.
I've got Bitcoin in my wallet, but you owe me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you?
I'll buy you.
All right, what do you want? Are you gonna get a coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee? Don't say.
Yeah.
So here they are doing the...
Got it. And then what's the amount?
Here it is, man. Espresso yourself.
Random style that we can't use it all. It accepts Bitcoin, Litecoin, and other coins.
We didn't look this up online.
We didn't.
Nothing.
Yeah,
So that is freaking awesome, guys. I just wanted to point that out. And on top of that, the hash rate is also increasing as well. Now, you always hear these people saying price follows hash rate, and then you see people disagreeing, saying hash rate follows price. Well, I'm gonna actually get to that in a second. Let me leave you on a cliffhanger on that one. But I do want to talk about the fact that Bitcoin mining revenues have begun climbing after falling to their lowest level in 18 months. Remember, everybody was freaking out, saying, "Oh, the death spiral this, and we're gonna die, and doom and gloom, and Bitcoin's dead," right? And you can see right here, the last 2 months of 2018 clearly weren't financially beneficial. A sudden downturn of 50% when we fell from 6 to 3 really screwed a lot of people up. You had different miners shutting down, closing their doors, and now we're seeing it go the other way. And Dyer has actually confirmed the progress, also noting that the gross margins for those running Bitmain's Antminers have improved versus a month ago, on top of the fact that you're seeing Bitcoin miners in China buying used equipment and making deals with mining firms and hydroelectric plants, betting abundant water this summer will make their business profitable again. So they're also, well, this is a little bit of a different situation, but this is based on they're using hydro, right? So that's because during the season, a significant amount of excess electricity is expected to be generated by hundreds of hydropower stations. So the level of excess power results in competitive electricity costs for Bitcoin miners, making it perhaps one of the rare occasions to earn profits in the current bear market. Now, did you guys follow this guy, Mr. Christoph, by the way? So he is a miner. This was an incredibly popular video he had. As you can see, it got 500,000 views, okay, and he has his own mining farm, and he's been sticking it out. You know, he's been sticking it out through the winter and all this other stuff. Here's his latest video he just uploaded. So you can see he's got all his mining stuff right here. So you guys told me to reach out to him, and I did, and he's agreed to come on the channel. So we are looking forward to having a little bit of a video, and I'm going to get it straight from the source. I'm going to hear, what has it been like? How has the crypto winter treated you? Does, the hash rate following price following hash rate argument, I want to hear it from an actual miner himself. So we're going to have Mr. Christoph on the channel, and thank you to everybody that suggested that. I'm very, very excited for this conversation moving forward. Now, let's talk about some more bullish news. We have new details about Starbucks' partnership with Bakkt. So apparently they got involved in an equity deal. Now, this is from a source that is not, what do you call it? An anonymous source, right? So we have to take this, for surface value, face value. We don't 100% know, but we do know that they became a founding partner in Bakkt upon unveiling what happened back in August, right? So now you do have to note that no actual cryptocurrency will end up being processed. Okay, it's just going to be instantly converted into fiat. But man, the fact that they've agreed to use these products to allow people to pay for their services is going to be incredible. I can't even imagine what it would be like Starbucks, accepting cryptocurrencies, accepting Bitcoin. So obviously they originally denied any idea that its input will result in coffee for Bitcoin. Now it appears that the company has secured considerable equity and in return will accept the cryptocurrencies. There's a high value from having a brand at this level, the publication quoted. Now this is talking about the block, and they basically said that currently it's only going to be for US customers. Wow, that's like the first time I've ever heard it only for US customers. Usually it's like, sorry guys, US customers not allowed, right? So freaking awesome. Starbucks, Lightning Network, adoption, people using crypto, miners getting back in the game. I mean, is this not bullish news enough for you guys? But I know. Somebody out there is going to be like, okay, but yeah, what if price falls tomorrow or goes down, then suddenly all of this doesn't matter, right? Because apparently all this good news doesn't seem to be affecting the price. So let's look at the negative side of things. So just to be fair, just to be objective, right? So you got Jason Smith. Now he's a small business owner and he's recently he was using the Lightning Network, and he basically says it sucks, it's garbage, he hates it, he thinks it's useless, right? He went on this crazy tweet storm. Now I'm not going to go into this because there was actually a nice article from Wise Cryptos that actually broke it down a little bit better, but he goes on to say things like, I started hitting some snags, I won money on online betting sites, but I couldn't withdraw the money because I needed incoming channels connected to my node with money on the other side. And I said to myself, what the F, right? I eventually managed to find a service that would open up channels back to me and was able to receive money again. Then I started to try to close those channels to get the money back out. God, what a hassle. Cash flow issues in actual businesses won't allow for this kind of behavior. So I'd have to create a new Lightning channel every month to pay my staff anyway. So I'd be doing on-chain transactions, right? But I know what you're saying. Don't we have all these great things like Wallet of Satoshi or Blue Wallet or all these other things, right? Well, he says, I'm not interested in waiting 5 years before I can actually use it. Bitcoin in my company, I don't want custodial Lightning, right? And I know that once there's another bull market, arbitrage opportunities are going to be prolific and demand on blockchain space will be high. Even if someone was happy to do all the channel openings and all of that, it's still years away from reaching a user-friendly state. I can't ask local merchants to go and buy server hardware to be able to accept this stuff. I need to run an iPad only, and I don't want to do it with a custodial service. So there's one of two things that will happen. Everyone goes custodial, or we get bigger blocks. If we go custodial, the game is effed. If we go big blocks, we can actually use this thing. Now, I do want to point to the fact that chill out, bro. Like the Lightning Network, look how young it is. I mean, literally, if we just go back to a year ago, what is today's date? Today's the 5th, right? So if we go back a year ago, we have 1,809 channels, okay? With only 13 duplicates. Now, look at where we are today, okay? Just in 1 year, we now have 28,672 channels. Like, dude, it's only been a year. I've made it very, very apparent on this channel that the Lightning Network is still in its early stages, just like the internet was in its early stages back in the day. Okay, if you even look in here, he had some, where is it down here? Look, Elizabeth Stark from, Lightning Labs. I love her name, by the way, Stark. Elizabeth Stark. Sounds like maybe it's because of Tony Stark from, Avengers, but she says, here's my honest feedback on computers, circa 19, because she's making fun of him because he goes, here's my honest feedback on the Bitcoin Lightning Network. So she goes, here's my honest feedback on computers, circa 1970s. They're way too complicated. There's no graphical interface. None of my employees know how to use them. The fundamental structure of computers doesn't suit me at all for my business. Name a business that's not using some kind of a computer right now, okay? It's been a freaking year, dude. I'm just saying, have some patience, man. And you even have Nick Szabo, chiming in on this as well, saying, I thought I spotted an interesting observation or two buried deep within this thread, but I had to wade through so much, I want a free pony. They won't give me a free pony crap. I forgot what they were. So, I tried starting off negative, but I guess I have a way of turning things positive, don't I? But what can I say, guys? I'm very positive about this space, I really am. That's clearly why I do this every single day. Now, I want to talk about some other stuff, and this is probably where most of you are going to stop watching because everybody hates the boring stuff. Nobody wants to hear about what actually is going on in the background, right? But I think it's so important to not only talk about price or even just people selling Bitcoin at gas stations. Let's look at what these other guys are doing. You have the European Commission aiming to develop a common approach on blockchain technology for the EU in the international arena. Now, this isn't like some fake news or anything. This is literally from the actual site. You could see right here. So if we scroll down, you could see that since April of last year, 26 member states plus Norway and Liechtenstein agreed to sign a declaration creating the European Blockchain Partnership and cooperate in the establishment of European blockchain services infrastructure that will support the delivery of cross-border digital public services with the highest standards of security and privacy. So why would anyone be making these types of strides, putting together these types of partnerships, if you didn't see the value of blockchain tech and the space, right? And I know what you're thinking. Well, they're only talking about blockchain. Well, okay, I'll get to that later. But anyway, so now you have the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications. I guess you can call it INATBA, I guess, for short. So basically, to support blockchain and DLT in overcoming barriers to the scale, the proposal has been made to create a global forum that brings together industry, startup, and SMEs, policymakers, regulators, civil society, and standard-setting bodies, right? So to unlock the full transformational potential and harness the benefits of blockchain and DLT for business, the public sector, and society at large, it is necessary to develop a framework that promotes public and private sector. I kind of realized I actually kind of highlighted a lot here. I got a little excited when I was reading it, but yeah, let me kind of just skip through this a little bit quicker. So interested stakeholders, including developers of blockchain, etc., are invited to work together. And you can see that they have a few goals in mind. One is to maintain a permanent and constructive dialogue with public authorities and regulators. 2 is to promote an open, transparent, inclusive global model of governance for blockchain and other distributed ledger infrastructures. 3 is to support the development and adoption of interoperability guidelines, specifications, and global standards, etc. And finally, develop a sector-specific guideline and specifications for the development and acceleration of trusted sectorial blockchain and DLT applications in specific sectors like financial services, health, supply chain, energy, financial inclusion. I mean, just yesterday you saw SolveCare integrating their wallet with being able to use Lyft to get rides to go to medical appointments and stuff like this, right? So why put this much time into a space that's just clearly going to die, right? I don't know, guys. That's a good question, right? Now, getting on to some different topics, we also have the London-backed analytics firm Elliptic, which was the ones that, Coinbase was saying was selling all of their data. They came out and said, that's not true. The firm has never enabled the violation of individuals' financial privacy, and that such accusations represent a fundamental misrepresentation of Elliptic's industry role. So you could say, they said, our clients, including Coinbase, do not provide us with personal identifiable information about their users. Our clients use our solutions to screen specific transactions for risk. We only allow our solutions to be used in order to combat financial crime and do not allow it to be used for marketing, business intelligence, or any other purposes. Although, I think if the IRS comes knocking on their door, what are you going to do? Say no? Realistically. But anyway, in addition to Smith's statement, they also published a giant frequently asked questions that you can go check out and see everything. Now, you also had Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, coming out and talking about the recent controversy over the firm hacking team, right? So basically they said, while we looked at the technology and the security of Neutrino, which has basically sparked that whole delete Coinbase movement, he said we did not properly evaluate everything from the perspective of our mission. So they're admitting they were wrong. You got to give them credit, guys. I mean, what more do you want? He's admitting he was wrong, okay? He says, together with the Neutrino team, we've come to an agreement. Those who previously worked at hacking team, despite the fact that they have no current affiliation with the hacking team, will transition out of Coinbase. So to answer basically all those cries of, how could you let these guys do this? Well, they're basically letting them go. And they've answered the community and they're letting them go. So the CEO, Brian Armstrong, characterized the backstory of the acquisition as a gap in Coinbase's due diligence process. He stated that bringing Neutrino's anti-money laundering and know your customer technology and blockchain analytics tools in-house remains of critical importance to Coinbase, which aims to operate as a legally compliant, modernized, and regulated platform. So they are in the US. There's nothing you can do. You know how strict the US is. I mean, look at New York State. I can't do anything, right? So if you're going to operate in the US, you have to abide by these strict rules. So it's a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, but at least that they are admitting that they were wrong and they're trying their best to move forward in a way that they believe is the right thing to do. And you have to give them some kind of credit for that, regardless of how you feel. Okay. Like I said, I'm not sticking up for any of them. I'm just saying they came out and said we're wrong, and now they're letting go of these guys on the staff. I don't really know what more you want, except next time, do better research, Coinbase, okay? You screw up once, fine, but don't do it again. You know what I'm saying? Learn from your mistakes, because you're going to piss a lot of people off, right? And on a side note, someone who loves pissing people off, you have Craig Wright saying that he can make Zcash and Monero completely traceable, a mean to start monitoring it all and attributing, and responsible disclosure is not those teams. Have a nice life. Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Also, this is another controversial topic. We have Tether being launched as a native token on Tron. So it is going to be a TRC20. And the Tether CEO said, "We are pleased to announce this collaboration with the Tron Foundation. This integration underlines our commitment to further innovation within the cryptocurrency space as we continue to anticipate the needs and demands of the digital asset community." So now we have Tether as an ERC20. We have it as a TRC20. And we also have it on Omni as well. Right? So make sure you don't send them to the wrong addresses. Now, a lot of controversy over Tether. If you guys haven't checked out my video about the one Bitcoin Black Swan event that could potentially destroy cryptocurrencies, and you haven't checked the video out, you really should, because it goes into a lot of the dirty doings in the background and things that are going on, really shady stuff also with Tether. But what I wanted to say is, number one, how do you feel about it? What do you guys think? Me personally, I've always just used Tether as a tool. I don't keep my crypto in Tether. I don't hold Tether for long periods of time. As you guys know, I'm not a margin trader. I just don't do stuff like that. I don't use leverage. Way too risky. I do YouTube, so I spend a lot of time looking at, articles and research. So I don't have time to watch the charts all day and get liquidated and lose all my money. But I will tell you what, if I do feel that Bitcoin is going to take a massive dump, which it's done 3 times, in a very short period recently, yeah, I will sell out into a stable token and hold it for a little bit. And if it has to be Tether, I do use Tether as a tool, but just as a tool. That's it. I don't really care if Tether's backed 1-to-1. I mean, here's the funniest thing about Tether. Here's the funniest thing. They go, "Oh, I bet Tether's not even backed by anything." Oh, and your US dollars are? Like, what are US dollars backed by? Nothing. We just trust each other, right? So it's kind of funny to say Tether might not really be backed by the dollar when the dollar is not really backed by anything either, right? We went off the gold standard in the 70s. So all of these things compiling together, long story short, really, I could care less. Use Tether as a tool. Don't hold your money in Tether. Personally, for long periods of time, I wouldn't do it. But, if you want to send something or you want to hedge against the volatility, maybe for a day or two, go do it. Have a party. What are you going to do? Not financial advice. Anyway, I also wanted to talk about, I should have put this earlier when I was talking about, because this is what sort of got me interested when I was talking about the International Association of Trusted Blockchain Applications. Blockchain, not crypto. Well, no, because look at Unibright has officially joined the International Association of Trusted Blockchain Applications. And it says it brings together the companies from micro-size to Fortune 500, governments, regulators, and consumers working with blockchain technology. So congratulations to Unibright, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more people getting involved with this as well. Personally, I think this is just the beginning. Getting on to some other coin news, I always have a little bit of coin news for the day. So we had that coming out from Unibright. We also have this from IoTeX. So staking is now open on IoTeX delegates website. They say there's already 40 plus delegate candidates listed and more coming soon. If you need one more reason to check it out, staking is now available. So before voting for delegates begins on March 11th, you could put your tokens to work starting today. You can stake your tokens and earn 20 to 30% in annual returns. That's pretty good, actually, all things considered, if you're, the kind of person that wants to lock up, stake your tokens, essentially. So they say we're giving out early bird rewards for staking, 20%. Yeah, you guys could read this, but there you go. So they're opening up staking as well. We also have news coming out of Binance. I know, yes, evil Binance, the terrible centralized exchange, right? Well, anyway, long story short, CZ had a AMA where they asked him a bunch of questions about Binance Coin, Binance Launchpad, Binance Chain, the DEX. They even asked him about XRP and a few other things. So as far as his delisting process, he admitted that, we realized that by delisting these coins, we do hurt ourselves as well a little bit, clearly. But, speaking on these, they said we don't give examples. There's no first warning, second warning, third warning. It just happens instantly. And the reason that they do this is because they don't want insider trading. They don't want projects to dump their coins on people, etc. So he went on to say we keep it very, very tight control over this and we don't get the information out. Then discussing the Launchpad, basically they say it's a place where they want to help good projects raise money. But it's not only about raising money, they want to help raise awareness and exposure. The interesting thing that I found out, though, is that they said if nothing goes unexpected, they have a very high chance of getting listed on Binance. So apparently this means that it's not guaranteed that all of these ICOs that are going on Binance actually will end up getting listed on Binance. So far they have, but that's something very interesting to look into as well. Talking about the Binance coin, even though he refused to comment on it, he did say that the Binance token is probably has the most use cases out of most coins out there. I mean, undeniably, it is the number one ERC20 out there if you don't count Tether. You know what I mean? And then they talk about the Binance DEX and chain. He says the coin will migrate to the Binance chain native token. We're also encouraging other ERC20 tokens to migrate to the Binance chain. There's many more benefits for doing that. It's super easy to create a token, less room for bugs. He says there's about 8 projects already confirmed for migrating to Binance chain from ERC20, and he says they're not small projects. Now, also, big news of the day, as far as their next token being listed, you do have Celer network token that is being listed on Binance Launchpad. So that is happening on the 19th. Now, guys, I have actually done an interview with Celer Network. This came out 7 months ago. So there's no way I could have possibly known that they were going to get listed on Binance. But the one thing that I will say is, I can't really speak much for BitTorrent or Fetch.ai. I never spoke to any of those projects, but I have spoken to this project. I've met with them. I've talked to Mo several times at different conferences. I know he's pretty close with Vitalik Buterin as well, and I know that they're definitely legit with what they're trying to do with their second layer scaling. So I'm just pointing that out there. I mean, so yeah, if you guys want, you could check out this interview. Like I said, it's from 7 months ago. It wasn't sponsored. It was totally free. I really liked the project, so I mean, but I don't know. I mean, if it gets listed on Binance and, the investors decide to dump, they could dump. I have no idea. I'm just saying they're not like a scam or anything. They're definitely pretty legitimate. So if you guys want to check out that interview, you can. And by the way, before we go, I just want to say this is so cool. I love when people do stuff like this. So this guy did the top 15 cryptocurrencies from 2013 to 2018. And, you can kind of see what the coins, which coins sort of took over what. It's really interesting if you want to check it out. Obviously, they don't have 2019 in here. But you know what is the most interesting thing about this to me is not so much to see the change. It's almost to see the coins that became irrelevant. Like the ones that were like in the top 5 that now aren't even on like page 3 or 4 of like CoinMarketCap. That is like the really, really interesting part. And guys, yesterday, because I had that little joke poll that I did, right? So right here, I have what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Turns out that 39% of you like vanilla, 37% chocolate, 11% strawberry, and 11% other. Leave a comment, which I guess that's in the comments, and I'll have to have a look and see what your favorite flavor of ice cream was. So that being said, guys, ending on that note, why not? As you can see, I'm very excited about so much today, guys. So much positive news in the space. So, is Bitcoin going to go lower? Yeah, it could. But I don't think it's got that much more room to go, personally. That's me, though. What do I know? I'm just some crazy guy on the internet. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I realize that today's video was a little bit longer than usual, but sometimes you just have a lot of stuff to talk about. So that being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much. Obviously, if you're sick of watching these ads, you can download the Brave browser. If you use my link below, you get $5 in Brave browser tokens to use on the platform any way that you want. Also want to talk about the Blockchain Brief, which is our newsletter that comes out once a month. It's only $5 $55. It's really fun. It's more of like a magazine, in my opinion. I write for it, and we are doing a giveaway for Denarium physical Bitcoin hardware wallet. If you're interested, check that out. And we're also running a special for $55 for the entire year, one-time payment. You could do that. And obviously, guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel and keeping your crypto safe on Ledger Nano S's and Ledger Nano X's. As you guys know, drop a comment on any of my videos, and I am giving away one a week. But if you don't want to wait, you can just get one yourself. And that is it for me today, guys. This video is incredibly long. I will try to keep it shorter tomorrow. Thank you so much for everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. You guys seriously are the reason that I do this every single day. It is an honor and a pleasure to be going through this journey with you. And that's got to be it for me. I can't think of anything else that, unless Bitcoin literally just crashes to like 1,000 today. I don't really know how my day could be ruined today. So hopefully you're having a great day as well. It's Tuesday. Wow, it's only Tuesday. I feel like it's been like the longest week already. Only been 2 days, huh? So I freaking love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you so much. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.